up, you guys? I have decided that I'm going to do a little bit of vlogging this week and bring you into my life. At the moment, I am getting ready to film a cooking video, which will most likely be up before you are seeing this vlog. So I'm gonna go ahead and say what I'm cooking. I'm going to try the Gordon Ramsay vegan eggplant steak recipe. But I have a little bit of time to kill right now because I'm trying to strike the balance between cooking this recipe late enough that we can actually eat it as our dinner, but also filming it when there is still enough natural light. So I decided this was the perfect time to start the vlog. So I'm actually going to do a quick book haul. I mentioned in my reading recap video for 2021 that I had just placed a book outlet order, and my books are here now, so I figured why not show you what I picked up. So once again, I'm not sponsored or affiliated in any way with Book Outlet. I'm just a very devoted customer as a person who doesn't really like spending the full price on books because books are so expensive in Canada. But to my understanding, how Book Outlet works is they buy books discounted directly from publishers, so they're able to offer like really cheap prices. But because of that, the stock is like constantly fluctuating. Like you really have to stalk the website, like I said, to find like popular titles and books you're looking for. But I really lucked out with this haul. I found so many books that were on my wish list. So starting off with one of the books I was most excited to find, I was able to snag The X-Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This is like an enemies to lovers workplace romance. I believe it's about two co-workers who like hate each other's guts, and they are forced to host a radio show together, and the radio show ends up being like a huge success and they end up falling in love. I also snagged Tiny Pretty Things. Back in October, James and I watched Black Swan because he had never seen the movie, and then I discovered this book shortly after for the first time, and the tagline for it online was literally Pretty Little Liars meets Black Swan, and I was like, okay, I'm sold. I don't know much about the plot of this book, but I know it's about like drama at an elite Manhattan ballet school, so I'm so into this. I believe this is like a teen YA novel, but I loved the Gossip Girl book series growing up. I love Pretty Little Liars. Definitely here for it. Another wish list book I found was Little Fires Everywhere. This is another book I don't really know that much about. I read the synopsis of it at one point and clearly decided it was interesting. It says Little Fires Everywhere explores the weight of secrets, the nature of art and identity, the ferocious pull of motherhood, and the danger of believing that following the rules can avert disaster. I know it's really popular. It's like a Netflix original now, I believe, and it was also in Reese Witherspoon's book club, one of her picks, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. I also picked up Catherine House. This is the lowest rated book that I have shelved on my Goodreads, but it sounds really interesting and intriguing to me, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint. On the back it says Catherine House is a school of higher learning like no other. It is a liberal arts study that is hidden deep in the woods of rural Pennsylvania. And for the people who are selected, tuition is free, but it comes with like really strict rules. For the 3 years that you are in the program, you can't have any contact with the outside world. It says that the main character discovers that the school may have a dangerous agenda, and it's just supposed to be like very spooky and weird. I also picked up Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. I just read another book from this author called We Are Okay. You'll have to wait for my next reading recap, which should be up in like a week or so when you're watching this. This is about a girl who ages out of the foster system, and she's offered a teaching job which provides her with housing, and I think this is like a little bit paranormal. I don't know, it alludes to there being ghosts, but I don't know if that's like literal or figurative. I also picked up a thriller. This is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. Generally, the books I order from Book Outlet have been in really great condition. Some of them will have stickers on them though, like I've gotten ones with like Target and like Walmart stickers on them, and this one had like a ton of stickers on it when I first opened this package, and it's got like some schmutz on the cover, so I need to take some like Goo Gone and clean this up. But another book I can't remember the synopsis of, and it doesn't have anything on the back. I just know that this is like a favorite thriller for so many people, and it's really popular, so I was like, okay, this is one I should have under my belt. And this is one that seems to always be in stock on Book Outlet. And the final book I picked up was Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey. I saw this popping up in so many YouTubers' favorite books of 2021, and I think when I was ordering, I was like just below hitting the free shipping mark, and so I looked at their like $2 books and everything, but I couldn't find anything that would like just put me over the amount, so I picked up this because I've heard so many great things about it. I know it's about a woman who is trying to follow the migration pattern of Arctic terns, and she goes to Antarctica. It sounds like it's more about like the main character's journey rather than the actual birds, but I'm excited to read this and see what it's all about since so many people have praised it. It's super weird. I'm on like a real pink and blue book kick lately. I've bought so many books recently that have that color scheme and read so many books where the covers match those colors. Yeah, that's my little book outlet haul. 7 books. I paid $60 in total with tax and everything, so I'm super pleased with that haul. And after that, I really need to stop buying more books. Just thought I'd quickly show you guys the aftermath of my cooking video and what a disaster the kitchen is. I've got all the tripods set up, my little light, and there's just stuff literally everywhere, but I'm beat from filming. It took me almost 4 hours to film this video, so I'm done for the day. Good morning, puppy. Hi. Are you a good boy? And good morning, vlog. Couple unfortunate things to talk about this morning. So first of all, earlier in the week we had a direct COVID contact. Neither of us are sick yet. Also, my skin is very unhappy right now, but it is what it is. And our washing machine isn't working at the moment. So today I'm going to be waiting on the repairman to come check it out. Fingers crossed it is an easy fix. Is this like a universal experience, or do we just have really bad luck with appliances? I feel like we just have bad luck. Like, I know people are gonna be like, yeah, appliances always breaking, but like at our apartment, aside from the first year we lived there, I don't think there was a time after that where we weren't having issues with the fridge, the dryer, or the dishwasher. And of course it stopped working once I'd already been putting off laundry for a while, so now the laundry is like seriously piling up, so hopefully it'll get fixed today. But until I get that call, I'm gonna be here under my blanket in my Mandalorian onesie, drinking my iced coffee, and I'm going to start a new book. I decided to read Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover next. Wow, I literally look like a blob of blanket, but I'm so cozy I don't even care. I should really go throw on some pimple patches, but I just can't be bothered right now. So the guy came and looked at our washing machine, and long story short, basically there's an easy fix we can do to correct the problem when it happens. We could get a part to replace it and like permanently fix the issue, but ultimately we decided that the washing machine is so old and we could run into other more expensive problems or problems that we can't fix at all. So we just decided it was not worth it to spend the money on that part. I'm so freaking tired today though. I'm about to get my period, hence my skin problems. So probably going to put all my energy into just catching up on my laundry. So a couple weeks ago I was hit with a craving. Maybe craving isn't the right word. It was more like being hit with a wave of childhood nostalgia for my mom's tuna melts that she used to make. I have very fond memories of eating tuna melts growing up, but obviously I haven't had one in years and years since I don't eat fish. But I was like, I can definitely make a plant-based version. Like, why is this something I've never tried to make? So that is what I'm going to do for dinner tonight. So for the tuna in our tuna melts, I am going to be using a combination of chickpeas and also hearts of palm. So I'm going to put our 2 main base ingredients in the food processor and chop them up till we get like a nice mashed kind of consistency. My food processor is obviously really small, so I'm doing the chickpeas and the hearts of palm separately. If you've never tried hearts of palm before, they're used in recipes like this because it has kind of a similar flaky texture to fish, and it also has kind of a briny taste. So that's what our mixture is looking like. I'm gonna go ahead and add some diced red onion, diced dill pickle. I've also got like some garlic powder, kelp granules. I'm gonna add some brine, and of course some mayo. Hellmann's vegan mayo is like the only one I'll buy. I thought I had a couple sticks of celery left too. I was also going to add that, but apparently I used it up. So this is what we are working with. This is what our finished mixture looks like. I'm definitely going to be using this trick of combining chickpea and hearts of palm for like tuna salad, chickpea salad, etc. in the future, because this looks pretty legit and the taste is delicious as well. So I asked my mom how she used to make our tuna melts, and she said that she would do a toasted open-faced bagel. I do remember this. Put on the tuna salad and then put the cheddar cheese on top and then put them under the broiler for a couple minutes just to get the cheese to melt. This is toasted. It doesn't really look like it, but it is. So we're gonna spoon on a generous amount. And for cheese, I'm going to be using the Daiya cheddar because that's just what I have at the moment. These are like the new-ish cutting board Daiya shreds, and I've never tried melting these. I think this is actually the first time I bought these ones. I know a lot of people really hate Daiya, but I don't mind it. I just bought it last time because it's like a full $1 cheaper than BioLife. All right, in the oven we go. So I was going to make 2 of these. It was supposed to be dinner for James and I, but unfortunately James is feeling sick now. Fingers crossed he doesn't have COVID because he just started feeling sick like within the past 5 hours or so. But one of the #1 questions I get all the time is like, how do you make things work since James doesn't eat a plant-based diet and you do? James isn't picky at all. I cook, he eats it, basically. That's how our setup works. In the past, we definitely did a lot more, like he would cook meat and like add it to his dish, but he pretty much just eats whatever I'm making now. So he ends up eating a lot of vegan food most of the time too, since that is what I cook at home. With this dish in particular, I did ask him because he's not a big fan of chickpeas. I was like, okay, I'm going to make vegan tuna melts. I can make them for myself for lunch one day. You can try them, or we can get canned tuna, but then you have to make your own mixture for them. But he was like, no, I'll try the vegan ones. So hopefully at some point in this vlog, I can get a taste test from him. Okay, damn Daiya, that is actually a pretty good melt. Ooh, I'm excited for these. All right, let's try it. Okay, yeah. That's what I've been wanting. That definitely hits. That is so good. I take it back. I don't want James to have any of my leftovers. I want all of this to myself. We're gonna do a little project. So this is what I need to tackle today. My spice drawer is obviously in need of some serious organization. So here's the deal. I have this set of matching jars, and this came with a rack that they were all displayed on with the lids facing out, so I have labels on them. And I had that set up in the pantry in our apartment, but in our new house with the pantry situation being all the way across the kitchen, I felt like it was just going to be kind of a pain to have to go back and forth, especially if I'm making a recipe that requires like 5+ different spices. Just carrying all of them would be a nightmare, and we have a lot of kitchen space, so I was like, I'm gonna make this my spice drawer. But it has been bugging me since we moved in how it's obviously a mess. Nothing's uniform. I've been wanting to do this project for months, so today is the day that we're gonna fix this up. So we have got our supplies. So I found these little jars at Canadian Tire. They're not a perfect match for the ones I already have, but they are close enough that I figured it probably wouldn't bother me, and these are cheap. That was one of the most important parts. They've got like a nice little sifter cap on them as well. So I bought 15 of these to start. I might need more to get all of my spices in matching jars, but I thought this was a good starter. And I also just bought like a cheap plastic funnel. I wanted one that was just specifically for food, for transferring the spices into the jars. I've gotten pretty good at pouring the spices into the jars over the years, but I was like, it's time to finally spend a couple bucks and invest in a funnel so we can eliminate any waste. So first step, I'm obviously going to take everything out of this drawer, wipe everything down, clean all of these jars that I will be keeping in here. I don't know if you can tell, but these are literally like so dirty and crusty. I mean, at least you know I definitely season my food because these are obviously getting used. And I have cute new labels to put on the jars as well, so I decided I'm just gonna clean them off with some isopropyl alcohol because I don't want any residue or anything like that. So I'm gonna throw on some gloves so this doesn't completely destroy my hands. Dude, how is this drawer so nasty when we've only lived here for like a few months? Friggin' the kelp granules spill on everything, but thankfully my new organization system will fix that. I think I need to get out my hand vac and like really clean this up. I just dropped my camera into this drawer so hard. You guys don't even know, but this is a lot better. Wiped everything out, and I think the next step is to go through and refill all of the jars that already have a designated spice. The alcohol worked pretty well, but like some of these lids, like on that cinnamon jar, I don't know what happened. So what I do for these refillable containers is I do have a bin that lives in my pantry that has all of the bags for refills. I know some people are really irrationally bothered by people who organize things in their pantry like this, like they put them into separate containers. They're like, isn't it kind of a pain to have like second storage where you have to like keep all the original packaging? And like, it's really not. I have this bin, it works very well. And in the case of spices, I save a ton of money by buying these little bags instead of buying like a fresh glass or plastic jar every time. Except for in cases where you can't find the bags for some reason. Like I had to buy this smoked paprika because it was all I could find, and this was literally like $11 freaking dollars. It's so stupid. I refilled these recently, so it shouldn't take too long, but there are some spices I was completely out of, so those still need to be filled. Also, just as a disclaimer, I did wash this funnel and all the new spice jars. We're looking good, we are making progress. I still ended up making a little bit of a mess somehow. A couple things I need to kind of reevaluate. I haven't been able to find Cajun seasoning in stores. It's been like sold out for a while. So I don't know if I should like switch this to something else, but I do like Cajun seasoning. Also garlic salt, I'm going to dump this out and use it for something else. When I got this spice set, I was like really obsessed with putting garlic salt on my avocado toast. But I don't think I've had to refill this in probably like 3 years because I just don't use it. And also these huge containers of steak spice, they can be moved into the pantry, especially this time of year when it's not like barbecue season. But next up, I'm going to take my new jars and start deciding which spices I want to keep in this drawer. And these are the labels I'm going to be using. I'm going to start putting them on the jars as I go. I'll have these linked down below, but as you can see, there's 12 pages and 192 different spices, so there should be pretty much everything in here, and there are some blank ones at the end for you to write in your own. So all of the new jars are filled. This is what I did just to keep everything straight. Most of these are pretty easily identifiable, but I'm just really afraid of mislabeling something. So I was able to eliminate like a decent amount of these jars. These are the things in the drawer that I'll probably just put in the white bin, like cream of tartar. I don't use it that often. It's like a really specific thing. Tarragon, fenugreek, minced onion, I just don't use them that much. And all these little red containers I decided to just keep as is for now. I do buy the pouches of seasoning to refill these too though. Most of these, like sage and poultry seasoning, I really only use like at Thanksgiving and Christmas, so they don't really need to be in there. The main thing I could have used 2 more jars for are the rosemary and thyme leaves, but it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, like it's not a hassle to go into this white bin in my pantry when I need something. Let's do one of these together. I'm gonna be pretty anal about putting them on straight, so I'll probably do most of these off camera so you don't have to watch me do that forever. I'm hoping that these are easy to reposition if I like mess up. They feel like they will be. Yeah, they come off really easily, at least when they are first applied. It looks so cute! Before and after. This looks so good. I'm so happy with this. I think these labels are really cute. For the most part, I have them in alphabetical order, except for sea salt and black pepper. The one thing that bothers me with this is that they are so close to being able to fit one more jar on the end here. But I have decided I am going to look up drawer inserts for spice jars specifically and see if I can find something Hello. And see if I can fit something that fits this drawer well without wasting any space, because obviously as soon as I slide this back, they're going to slide all over the place. So for now, I'm just going to put some of these containers back in here to fill the space, but I wanted that perfect after shot. Oh, and for the spices that didn't have a label in that set, I used the blank ones, but I just used my label maker to make a nice tidy little label for them because I didn't want them to stick out like a sore thumb because of my ugly handwriting. I hope you guys found that as satisfying as I did, but I think that's actually where I'm going to end this vlog because I don't want to get too long. Didn't go exactly as planned, but hopefully this video still ended up being somewhat interesting. If you want to see more week in my life vlogs, definitely let me know by commenting down below and giving this a thumbs up. Hopefully they'll go a little bit smoother, but I'm like ready for bed. I really need to go wash my face. I'm like super oily and sweaty now. This took way longer than I was expecting it to. Yeah, go follow me on social media if you aren't already. I'm at Sarah Rihanna on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe down below if you aren't already. But I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys.